أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear brothers, today we are just to start second surah of Holy Quran, Surah Baqarah. So the Baqarah mean the cow. So the name was given because of one incident that happened at the time of Musa alayhi salam. One person whose name was Amil. So he was a rich person. So one other cousin of that person, he killed him because he was greedy. He was to occupy his whole wealth and whole things. So after killing him, he took his dead body and placed at the door of next village. So next day in the morning, he went to the court and he just presented the case there that my cousin has been killed, and now please find the person who killed him and settle this problem. So the court was unable to settle this. It was a big problem for the court also. Then the people of that area came to Prophet Musa alayhi salam and they requested Musa alayhi salam, you please request Allah, just Allah tell us the person who killed him so we can understand. So the problem that is unsettable by the court. So what happened? The Musa alayhi salam requested Allah, and then the Allah said that say these people they should buy one cow and slaughter the cow. After slaughtering the cow, one piece of the slaughtered cow, they took it and then they place that one on the or touch that one to the dead body, and the person will get up and will say the name who killed him. So that was this incident. When we will be at that ayat, inshallah we will explain it more detail, but the main thing is that so this incident of cow, so that became the name of this surah, Surah Baqarah. So the cow. So this surah is mashallah blessings of Allah. It has too many mercies of Allah. It has 286 ayat, the longest surah of Holy Quran, and it has more than 1000 orders of Allah. If a person who forget Holy Quran just to read 10 ayat of this surah before sleeping, so he will not forget the Holy Quran. The first four ayat, Ayatul Kursi, two ayat after Ayatul Kursi, and then three last ayat of this surah. So total 10 ayat. First, I explain again. First four ayat, then Ayatul Kursi, then two ayat after Ayatul Kursi, then last three ayat. So these totally 10 ayat. If a person is just to read these 10 ayat of this surah before sleeping, so he will not forget Holy Quran, inshallah. So the Prophet ﷺ also said that this surah, Surah Baqarah and Surah Al Imran, at the day of judgment, these will come like clouds and like the birds running in rows. So, and they request Allah for the forgiveness of that person and the entry of that person to Jannah. And the quarrel of these two surah with Allah will make the situation that Allah will forgive those persons who were in love with these surah and who were reading and and implementing these surah in their lives, so they will go to Jannah, inshallah. So this surah, Prophet ﷺ said, you try to read this surah as much as you can because this is blessings of Allah. And if a person who is leaving this surah, he will be at loss at the day of judgment and feel that, oh, why I was unable to read it at the day at when I was in dunya. And if a person who is frightening from the enemy, so if start reading this surah, he will feel peace from the enemy. And even this surah is also the best treatment for different type of diseases like cowpox, measles, like different other diseases. If this surah is just to be read, and after that a blow on the person who is suffering in disease, so he will become recovered. So the last two ayat of this surah, the Prophet ﷺ also said that these are enough for a person. So some people they said enough mean like these are enough for a person because the person will not get any problem in the world. So because these two ayat will be enough. Some people say that these two enough mean like at the day of judgment, if a person have a habit to read these two ayat every night, every day, so these will be enough means these will be the source to go into Jannah. So enough like to go into Jannah. So these are different tafsir. So we got this one from there. So the Prophet ﷺ also said that there is a peak of everything. Peak mean like the camel. The peak of camel is the hump of camel. So the peak of Holy Quran is Surah Baqarah. So if we are just to read the Surah Baqarah, it means we will be at peak, the good position. So this surah, when it is read in the house, Shaitan and its generation go off, leave the house. And if this surah is read to the person who is died and like at the head side, if first five verses of this holy surah, if we read, and the last two ayat of this surah at the foot side of the dead body in the grave is if we read there, so the person who is died get benefit. So this surah is excellent just to make away Shaitan and his generation from the house. Like the Prophet ﷺ said, when this surah is read at night time, so up to the next 3 nights, the Shaitan and his generation will not enter to that house. And even when this surah is read at the daytime, so up to the 3 days, Shaitan and its generation will not come to that house. Even the magicians will not do anything. The magic, black magic or something will not affect to that house. The person living in that house will be in peace condition. One day Jibreel was sitting with the Prophet ﷺ, and a thundering sound came, and at that time the door of the sky opened. One angel came to Prophet ﷺ. Jibreel said, this door has not opened before. This is the first time this door has been opened. And this angel we have seen just now, we have not seen before. And the angel came directly to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and requested him and said to him that Allah bless you two nur, two lights. One light is Surah Fatiha, opening surah, and the second nur is the last two ayat of Surah Baqarah. So Allah gave you these two, the blessed things which have not been given to any prophet and not revealed any book before your book like Holy Quran. So these are the special blessings of Allah blessed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. and we are the getting the benefit. We are Ummah of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. This surah has too many benefits. Like if a person has unconscious insan, if you read this surah and blow on that person, that will be all right and will recover. So Alhamdulillah, this surah has many blessings, and if we continue this surah to read, Alhamdulillah, we will get uncountable benefits. And if we apply the all the rules, regulations, and the code of life that is presented in this surah in our daily life, inshallah, we will be like in love with Allah, inshallah.